Hello everybody, welcome to part 4 of Fairy Tale Worlds by Maria Trolle, and we're coloring this cute little cozy cottage where I read that the 4 animals, here we have them on this page right here, they will end up going to this cottage, getting rid of the robbers that live there. So the town is so happy because they were able to do that. And they eat the nice, good, hot meal that was waiting for them in the cottage, and sleeping a night sleep by the fire. So, yeah, that's a cute little story. And the story has changed over the years. So if you want to have more information, you can find that on Google. And okay, so this is the list of pencils that we've used. So if you want to take a screenshot, go ahead. And if you want to pause and write down each color, so that's all up to you. I'll update the description box with all of the numbers. So there we go. Let's get started on the bushes over here. So we are going to take out the apple green 912. Go ahead and just do this bush here. A very light layer. And then with the lighter green, the 913, we will do the top. So my page has gotten very dirty from not using a sheet of paper, I think, to protect the page. But no worries. With that eraser, we'll be able to get all of that nice and clean. There we go. All right, so let's go back with the 912 apple green and do the bottom here. Small little circles. Here we go. And then what we'll be doing with these bushes is surrounding the flowers here with some white. The pen I'm using here is Jelly Roll 08 from Sakura, Japan. And you can find that in your art store. And you have different numbers. Here it's an 08. There's the 05, which is even thinner. And there's the 10, which is a little bit thicker. So here the line is comes out medium. Smaller than the Posca, so that would be the advantage, like for these tiny little flowers. If I went in with the Posca, I'd be covering the whole flower. I'll just do a little bit in the middle. And I'll have some little white flowers here. Little dots for flowers, like that. Okay, so I'm going to be doing that the whole way. So I start with a first layer of apple green 912. The tips of these bushes will be lighter, so we'll take out our next pencil. So we'll take out the 913 spring green, and we'll do the tips, the top area of these bushes. There we go. And while you're working on your sheet, your paper, you'll see sometimes some white tooth that you've missed. You just go ahead and fill them up, you know, as you're working. Because of course there'll be some left. So it doesn't matter if it's a different green. There we go. Just keep going. You know, a little bit at a time, it ends up being all covered with color. Okay, so I'll keep blending. I can still see a lot of tooth, so I'm just gonna blend and blend. I can use my blenders as well, they can help. At least I can still add color. It's still accepting some color, so that's good. All right, so on the bottom of the shrubs, 912 apple green. So these shrubs are lighter than up above, so it gives us a little bit of a different. I'm still gonna go in and fix an area that might need some more color. Like if I see too much tooth, I'll go ahead, even if it's a different green, because trees and shrubs have all shades of colors in them. So you don't have to worry about that so much. Okay, so these little flowers. Okay, you see, just while we were talking, I was holding my pen upwards like this instead of holding it downwards. So that did not help. Let's try to get it going. There we go. And it gives us a pretty nice line, like thin enough, right? So they're very inexpensive, especially when I got them on Boxing Day. They're open stock, so you can just buy one at a time. You don't have to buy a whole bunch. So I've been looking on Amazon and in the bookstores what books are coming. Now, Rita Berman has some new books, but I'm curious to know who has Rita Berman books. And Joanna Basford is coming out with a new book called Inklings. So here I'm going to use the Jelly Roll 06 Moonlight edition. So the Moonlight edition is very opaque. So usually you can see it quite well on paper. Let's just make sure it's nice and clean. And I have a feeling that we'll be using a lot of the jelly rolls. I have a few. And in this book, there are many tiny, tiny details like this. So I think they'll come in handy for those of you that want to do the 12 pages with me this year. So there, at least we can see them. At least we can see them. Let's add a few little flowers over here. You could even put yellow flowers if you want. Just like that. Now, if we wanted to, we could go ahead and do little yellow dots. So these little jelly rolls are a lot of fun. Okay, so let's keep going there. I'm going to speed up so that this goes by faster. Before I do that though, I'm going to show you over here in between each line. I've gone ahead with a white. I sharpened it quite a bit, so I have to really remember not to press hard. So I'm blending the white area. Comes out a bit cleaner. You can see the difference now, this one and this one. I'm gonna have to check and make sure that I'm recording. It does happen sometimes I think I'm recording and I'm not, so. Okay, that's good. And wherever you see little spots, every so often, I'll go back to areas just to make sure that I cover those little areas that still have tooth, you know? But then again, right? Right now we're very close up, so of course we see every imperfection. But when we're just looking with our naked eye, the whole page, we don't see all those little spots. Okay, the other thing I could do right away before speed coloring would be okay. So with our golden rod, we will go very lightly here. So I have an idea of how I'm going to do the driveway and the stone. So that's coming up. So stay with us. We're getting there. With the terracotta, I will go in and just shade a little bit from the bottom. And then on the bottom here, the shaded part. So I'm thinking that there might be some light coming down on here and here. Okay, and with the terracotta, you can add to the lines, a bit to the lines here. It adds one more little color here. You can add to the trees on the dark side of the tree. So the dark side of this tree is on the left. And the dark side of this tree is on the right. So you can go ahead and fix up any areas that need more pencil. Okay, so we're going to speed this up so that you can see me doing all the rest. One thing that I love about Prismacolor is their selection of grays. So today I'm going to use the warm gray. So we have the 10%, the 20%, the next one. I want to do them in order. 70%, 90%, 50%. So these are really fun when I just want to relax and enjoy myself. These really are a lot of fun. So I'm going to start with the lightest one, the 10, and I'm just going to go lightly all over here. There we go. With the darkest, the 90% warm gray, 1058, I'm going to just go on the sides very lightly. And it's just fun to you don't have to think. Just go pencil after pencil, and it just feels like you're meditating. I'll go where the line is. Just follow this line. The next one is the 70%, 1060. So I go over what I've just done with the darkest. I come out just a bit. Then with the 50%, 1054, I go over that and a tiny bit out. Don't have to worry too much. This is probably gravel, and gravel is quite uneven. So 1051, 20% gray. I'm going to go ahead and blend everything. I don't have to go very heavy-handed. I can go lightly here. So the uneven areas just make it look more like gravel. So when I will be touching up this page, making sure there's no tooth, I'll do that once the camera is off. I'll just go over it over as many times as I feel like it. And if I see some tooth, then I go in with the blender and just take it out. There we go. Now to tie this into with the house, I'm just going to go with the chocolate 1082 very lightly. And I'm just going to add in at the very tip, just a tiny bit of chocolate. There we go. This little plant here, we said that this was the lighter side. Over here like this. This was the lighter side. And the terracotta was for the darker area. I'll just go with my blender, make sure that this is nice. Take out most of the tooth. I'll come back afterwards and make sure that it's the way I like. You can do touch-ups as much as you like. Okay. Let's do the stone. So we're going to keep our grays out here. I'm going to go in with the 20% warm gray and just do the whole stone. And then with the darkest, we're going to go in between the stones. Okay, let's take the darkest. For this, I'm going to want it to be very sharp. In between. Okay, with the next darkest will be the 70% gray. So Hannah has left us some little lines here to show us where the shading would be. So stones are like imperfect, right? They have a whole bunch of little gaps, and I can make up my own, and I can also follow Joanna's. All right, with the next gray, I will go over very lightly the shaded areas. And then that was the 50% warm gray. Now we'll go in with the 20% and just continue a little bit to add on to what we've done here, all the shadings. And here we can allow tooth, because in a rock you'll have different shades when it just makes the rock look more real. There we go. And we'll add a bit of chocolate just to make it blend in, right? So in the darkest area, I'll add in a little bit of the chocolate. There we go. Underneath the building, we can think that there would be some shade here. So with the 70% warm gray, I'm adding some shaded area here on the stone underneath the building. There we go. How's that? It's pretty good, right? So on my own time, I will come in and do some blending here where I need to. So what I did with the white dots, wherever there was grass, I actually took it like, oh, it could be the stem of a flower. So I put the white dots over on top there to make it look like they are stems from the flowers. Okay, we're going to take a darker green. And we're going to add in a bit of shading. So on the side of this tree will be dark. We have shading on this side. Underneath the plant here. Underneath here will be very dark actually, so I'll just do the whole thing. I can tell that I need a bit of color here because I can see the tooth. So with the golden rod, I'll just fill up the tooth that is on the tree. I can do the same thing with this plant here. Just do the bottoms here. Give it some more color. Okay. So with our shading, we will shade underneath this plant here. Behind this plant. On the left of this plant. You can go and shade a bit over the bushes here, the little crevices here. And then over here, on the left of this plant, all the way inside. Here, underneath this plant here, between the two, like that. On the left side here. Now we're going to start going on the right side for the shadings. So this side is on the right side. We're going to go darker underneath the stones here. There we go. We can add a little bit of green on these stones, which would be somewhat like if there was moss on the stones. All right. Okay. There would be some shade a bit over here. Like this. All right. On the right side here. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking at some new books coming in this year. So maybe a new book from Rita Bremen. I would like to get the Europe because that is my favorite of hers. So I'm gonna have to find out if anybody has that book and if anybody wants to do some pages in that book. And you can leave me a comment if you have it or if you want to get it. Let's add a little bit of green here just to tie all that up. And the other one, which would be fun, would be from Joanna Basford, The Inklings. What's fun about that book is that the pages are small, so you know we can get a page done much quicker than a big page. So it's a kind of book where if you only have 10 minutes to color, you just sit down 10 minutes and color a page, you know? And for those pages that I can do for a color long, if I want, I can have a whole color along on some of those pages as well. So I'm kind of getting excited now. Yeah. All right, so what do we have left? We have the chimney left and the smoke. So let's get the warm gray out. Let's do this with some warm gray. I'm going lightly. I'm not going I'm not going heavy hand. Here we go. Okay, let's get that silvered. So this week I got some Uniball Signal. Am I in? Yeah, okay. So these guys here, and this white here. Let's fix this. Let's fix this up. Okay. So the gold works like a charm. The white would not have it at all. So now, I think we tried the silver, but did we use this silver for the moon? Like this completely is beautiful. Very, very nice. Okay. So let's So the gold and the silver are perfect, and the white wouldn't have it, so I'll put the white under hot water and see what happens. Warm it up to see if it will fix it. There we go. I like that. So all right. Now we can do some stars in the sky with our silver. I'll do that one over there after, when I'm sure that all of this has dried up. I'm supposed to start like on the left side. That way I don't smudge it like I just did now. I still have to put the white around the flowers in the trees. There we go. Let's put a little bit more. These show up really well, you know, when you're turning the pages of your book. All right, so that's going to be for the silver. I see a little area here that was not colored. All right, and for the bricks, let's get the chocolate. Chocolate, chocolate, yummy. We all love chocolate in my family. No, there is one that likes blueberry. So his birthday is always blueberry cake. Okay, so chocolate, where are you? Here we go. So this must be dry by now. So at the end here, we'll go with the chocolate. Each line very thinly. And the chocolate on the line is kind of going over the line, which is okay. There we go. With our lightest gray here, 1050, 10% warm gray, we will bring this out. We'll just go very lightly over here, get some of that brown around. Bricks are not even, right? They have different shades. Let's go in with the golden rod, add some of that here and there. Go back, let's say, with the 70% warm gray 1065. Should be kind of shaded underneath here, and on the left side. And let's just go lightly over each line. And beside the line is, you know, these are bricks, so they're not completely even, and they have color here and there. And then with the yellow, let's take the Deco yellow and just go in there a little bit. Mix a bit. So our first page in Fairytale Worlds. Awesome, I'm very happy about that. Our next page in Fairytales, I would really like to have it nice and maybe with a botanical set where we have all those beautiful colors. Something like I did in Magical Worlds by Joanna Basford. I would like to do that in this book here. It just make me happy. Happy colors. Okay, this is coming along, right? A white pen always just makes it a little bit cheery. Finishes it up with a nice touch. I'm going outside the line here because it kind of makes the flowers look a bit bigger. All right, that's good. Let's do the top of these trees because with the sunset, this would be a little bit lighter, right? So. Again, I started on the right side. I should have started on the left side. You see, that's how I've always colored. But with the tutorials, I've changed that because now it's more like, okay, what item do I want to film first? Like what is the easiest item for me to color, right? I'm trying to make this like easy for me to figure out and show you guys. So the advantage of this jelly roll is that it's thinner. The white doesn't come out as strongly as with the Posca. So everything depends on what you're looking for, what it is that you want. Let's start on the left side here. If any of you know what the book from Joanna Basford, her Small Victories, the new book that's coming out, Inklings, is the same size. So it's really nice to be able to just get a page done in one day if we want, you know? And I do at least one page a week, right? Minimum. So it's just one more book to add. Let's do the bottom of the trees here, which will be lighter because of the sunset. When it stops running, you just go and clean it. If you have rough paper like that, construction paper brings me back so many good memories as a kid doing art class. That was fun in primary school, discovering all that different material, and it smelled so good. It's probably those good experiences that really made me want to start coloring. Like, it to me was something that was enjoyable. And paper mache. Any of you have done that? Does every school do paper mache? So, do I want to add? It's so much fun adding white the page just seems to come to life, you know. But I guess we'll keep it there, unless we do this side here, just the one side. That was the side that we said will be lighter. All right, are we done? Should I go around these stars with the white? Starting on the left. No, I don't think that's going to really work out. So I'm going to erase that with my white. No. Okay, I think that we are done. We could put white stars in the sky. So here's our beautiful first page in Fairy Tales by Maria Trolle. So I'm looking forward to doing a page a month, and I wish you all a happy day and happy coloring. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.